specialist here for you today. Alright, this is, this is the Shadows of the Tarot. They're basically based on your reverse Arcana. Yeah, they're like, based... Alright, these guys are called the Ascended, by the way. They're like some of the major villains in the lore, okay? They're kind of a rival organization of, Red Mundo. Alright, now, let's get on with it, over the course, I think this will become pretty clear what it's about, okay? Alright, the first one is called Ascended Shark. It's a shadow of the Devil Arcana. Oh no! Not that Arcana, oh no! Alright, already starting off strong. This entity's form is like that of a large great white shark with biblically accurate angel wings and a halo of fire and a high dollar and high class suit on. Sort of like one of those lawyers, yeah. Who gets paid to, sue people for who gets paid to sue people for, copyright on, while defending on the side of Monster Energy. Alright, let's continue, shall we? Once long ago, he was a prosecutor in the Celestial Realm's Court of Law. Oh no, Law and Order! which was a pretty boring desk job for this being, because it mostly meant the same paperwork over and over, and however, the Ascended Shark was happy because it meant routine, meant order, meant things were working according to plan. He felt the laws he helped to pass and to protect were flawless in every way. However, the goddess of creation made humans... Oh no. Alright, this is where things start to go off the rails, okay? And the goddess of creation gave them power to create tulpas, which changed a lot of laws and brought more paperwork and more chaos. It was frustrating. Alright, now. It was frustrating that the goddess not only wanted them to exist, but to be free, to be able to make their own laws, their own order. Why? What was not what it had? What it enforced perfect? Besides, they had too many flaws. No. The Ascended Shark tried pointing out what he found were flaws to be breaks in the law, to what he thought was going against what he knew, and claimed it needed to be strictly enforced, and proposed some rather horrible ideas: sins, punishments, judgments with scarred and cleansed with fire and sword over infractions seemingly justified on a whim. However, the goddess was actually angered by this. And flat out told him it wasn't acceptable and that it shouldn't be enforced, and that even if her new creation had flaws, that was part of what she wanted, not on a mouse, but because she wanted things to be different, to be unique, and for humans and tulpas to basically make and build an established order after themselves. And she wondered if perhaps, the Ascended Shark should step down after, saying what he kind of proposed. So it was an easy choice for the Ascended Shark to basically, after that, since he was furious at the goddess creation, basically side with the Muse of Darkness. Oh no. Yeah, she's also on the list of, all the Arcana too, but, we'll get to her, sometime soon, maybe. With the Muse of Darkness's plan, he was one of her strictest enforcers, even after he was banished, and still believed what he was doing was necessary and was just and was keeping things in line, even if it did require, burning a few villages, committing a few war crimes against a few upstarts and challengers, and, real or imagined, which, that needed to be shown that what he said was the law. He even enforced the twisted idea that, he even forced a twisted idea that kind of distorted what actually happened back in the Box of Evils incident, okay? And had been a key figure in the goddess of creation's faith being turned into protagonism, and worse, getting his his distortions, were enforced into law, shaping shame and guilt and policy and even purges, basically genocide. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I mean mass unaliving, war crimey stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to say the G word because the censors will kill me. Yeah. He even claimed that humans weren't sabotaged, by him and Muse of Darkness and his, buddies. No. That humans were simply disobedient, and they deserve to be judged and to get retribution against them. Get retribution against them, enforced against them, and right or wrong being pushed by the the right and wrong of the situation was basically pushed by the wayside, and anyone who dared to question it dismissed or even worse, destroyed. It had been this way it had done this in the Age of the Gods for a long while, and through its doctrine, though diminished in power, are still laws in many parts of the world today. He himself, however, would fall to Arachne's web and venom, a human weaver. That is laws in regards to laws in regards to opposing the god, him and his buddies, basically justified themselves as gods, back in the Age of the Gods, because they kind of ruled with an iron fist back then. Yeah, that everything they did was, justified in punishment, and now... And, since he fell into Arachne's web and venom, he was now destroyed. Not by a devil that was born, but created, kind of created. Arachne had been a human who basically, was, seen as a Dark Lord by, it was basically, made to be the Dark Lord by, as propaganda by, the Ascendeds. Yeah, and, her, and, her curse had been forgotten until the Ascended Shark's demise, yeah, basically. By him and his buddies, yeah. Of course, yeah. So he was kind of killed by Arachne, back in his court of law, yeah. Yeah, good riddance. Good riddance to rubbish. Although I will say that his monster design is kind of cool. I like that. Alright, now, I should probably say that yes, this is based on the idea that, the devil is a prosecutor, back in a job story, which, I find to be incredibly corrupt if that were, the case of that story. Because it basically means the system is broken and corrupted, basically justifies all that suffering. Oh, yeah, and of course, it's basically based on biblically accurate angels, as well as sharks being lawyers. As well as lawyers being described as sharks. As well as lawyers being described as sharks for, some of their more unscrupulous activities. Although, although a lawyer being like that in real life would probably be very, very good, depending on how you see it. Oh, dang, wow, I passed. Hey, Foam. Sorry, I didn't notice you guys there. Thank you for being here. I highly appreciate it. With the Cool Ranch blast. Foam, I don't have Cool Ranch. You've literally read about me fighting. I don't have Cool Ranch. And I thank you, Pass, for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you for the head pats, yeah. Alright, now, no. I'm not Sundari, and I literally just finished. No. Yeah, it's an indie lore stream, and we were just going over to the Ascended Shark. And I'm not a Sundari sort of bat. No, you're the cutie honey sunny delight bunny. Hey, that's Rocket Bunny. Yeah, that's right, buddy. Space program, go. All right. Now, let's go look for somebody to raid. Yeah. Oh wow, I forgot. All right, now. All right, the video's kind of a little fuzzy in nature, isn't it? I'm sorry about that. I probably should have. All right, now I kind of pressed the wrong button by accident. Meant to record this, but that's okay, I guess. I'm sorry. Alright, let's go look for somebody to raid, Oh, I know who to raid. Alright, now, hopefully I can spell Villainous Bell correct. Oh, thank you for the 1 bit, you really didn't have to. Sounds like a wanted poster in the underworld, just add heresy, blasphemy, and decide, so how many war crimes? Alright, now, let's raid Villainous Bell. Alright, let's raid them, yeah. Now, thank you for the 1 bit. I appreciate that. Alright, you're more than welcome to watch the video later. Alright, now, it's probably gonna have really crunchy quality, though. I kind of meant to record this, I'm sorry. I kind of pressed streaming by accident. So I'm sorry, but thank you for your support, guys. I appreciate it. Alright, now, let's get inside there and, do Moonbat raid. There we go. See you later. Goodbye. Oh wait, I think I got frozen.